Listen up. This is for the high-value women who know what they bring to the table and are done playing small. You want to captivate a man, not just with your body, but with your words? You want to dominate his mind while he's laying there thinking he's in control? Then learn this. The things you say in the bedroom can ignite a fire that makes him obsessed, not just interested, obsessed. I'm about to give you 8 things every man craves to hear, deep in his core, but won't ever admit. Say them right, say them at the right moment, and he'll never forget you. You make me feel safe. This isn't just a compliment, it's a psychological switch that flips something deep inside a man. Men are wired to protect, to provide, and to be the shield between you and the world. When you tell a man that he makes you feel safe, you're not just feeding his ego, you're activating his purpose, and nothing makes a man feel more alive, more masculine, and more connected to a woman than knowing he is needed in a way no one else can fulfill. This phrase hits at the heart of a man's identity. In a world where men are constantly told to be softer, quieter, more passive, hearing that they make a woman feel secure reminds them that their strength is not only noticed, but appreciated. It gives them the green light to lean into their masculinity, to express it fully, and to feel proud of it. It tells them, your presence is powerful. Your energy makes me feel grounded. You are my anchor. That kind of validation is rare, and when it comes from a woman he respects and desires, it's unforgettable. Now, here's the real beauty of this phrase. It creates emotional intimacy without stripping away sexual energy. Because when a woman whispers those words in the heat of a moment, or even softly while curled up in his arms, it adds depth to the desire. It's not just about lust, it's about trust. And for a man, combining trust and passion is what makes him feel bonded to you in ways he won't always admit. When you say, you make me feel safe, you're also communicating something subtle but powerful. I can let go with you. That message gives him permission to lead, to take control, to guide the experience. And that unleashes his most confident, primal self, the version of him that wants to impress, to conquer, to please. You're handing him the map to your vulnerability and saying, I trust you to handle this. And that trust turns him on. It makes him want to earn more of it. It makes him want to deserve you. This kind of communication isn't manipulation, it's emotional intelligence. It's knowing that men, just like women, want to feel seen. And when you let a man know that his presence brings calm to your chaos, that he's the one who makes your nervous system relax, it builds a connection that runs deeper than the physical. He'll chase that feeling. He'll associate it with you. And whether he's lying in bed, walking into a room, or thinking about you late at night, he'll remember that you said those words and how it made him feel. It's also worth noting that saying, you make me feel safe, isn't a one-size-fits-all script. You've got to mean it. You've got to feel it. A high-value woman knows when to say it, not because she's trying to play a game, but because she recognizes power when she sees it and isn't afraid to acknowledge it. That kind of authenticity hits different. It lands with force, because the truth is, men are starving to be recognized for their role, for their strength, for their presence. Most women either overlook it, take it for granted, or are too guarded to express it. But the woman who looks a man in the eye and says, with you I feel safe, she becomes the exception. She becomes unforgettable. So the next time you feel wrapped in his arms, protected by his energy, or moved by his ability to take the lead, don't stay silent. Tell him, because those 5 words don't just stroke his ego, they mark you as the woman who sees him, trusts him, and chooses him. And that's more powerful than anything you wear or say in bed. I've never wanted anyone like this before. This statement is pure fire when said with intent. It's not just flattery, it's a direct strike to a man's competitive instinct and emotional core. Men are built to compete, to be the best, to win. And when a woman tells him he's the one she's never craved like this, it hits harder than anything physical. You're not just complimenting him, you're telling him he stands above every man who came before him. You're placing him on a pedestal, and in doing so, you become unforgettable. This line isn't about lying or exaggerating, it's about expressing a real, raw level of desire in a way that makes him feel singular. Most men are used to performance-based praise. You're good, you're big, that felt amazing. Sure, those things stroke the ego for a minute, but I've never wanted anyone like this before. That's not performance-based. That's personal. That's emotional. That says you stir something in me no one else ever has. And once a man hears that, you become the prize he never wants to lose. Now let's go deeper. When a woman says these words during an intimate moment, it turns physical pleasure into emotional imprinting. You're taking what might otherwise be a fleeting experience and etching it into his memory as something irreplaceable. Why? Because you've told him, consciously or not, that this isn't normal for you, that he brings something different out of you, that you're not just enjoying him, you're consumed by him. A man doesn't forget that. It also feeds a very primal need men have to be desired. Not just accepted, not just tolerated, not just appreciated, but desired. Men want to feel like they're the fantasy. And when you say, I've never wanted anyone like this before, you're turning him into the star of your personal story. You're telling him that no one else lit your fire the way he does. He starts to see himself not just as someone you enjoy, but as someone you need. That creates emotional gravity. He becomes addicted to that validation because you've shown him he stands out in a world where most people feel replaceable. Now there's another layer, the timing. This line lands best when you're vulnerable, when you're breathless, when your energy is soft but sincere. This isn't something you throw out casually. This is something you say when the energy between you is intense, when you're locked into each other emotionally and physically. That's when the words land. That's when he listens, not just with his ears, but with his soul. And don't mistake this for desperation. This isn't about putting a man on a pedestal and losing yourself. No, this is about owning your desire. A confident woman doesn't hide her feelings. She leans into them. She uses them. She makes a man feel how much she wants him without shame. That's magnetic. That's dangerous. That's unforgettable. Because here's the truth. In a world full of surface-level compliments, this line goes beneath the surface. It hits where most praise doesn't. It tells him, you didn't just touch my body, you reached something deeper. You woke up something I didn't even know was there. That's power. That's seduction on a level most women never tap into. So don't be afraid to use your voice. Don't hold back your desire. Because when you tell a man he's awakened something no one else ever has, you're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him purpose. And once he feels like he has a purpose with you, he'll never want to lose that feeling. I love how you take control. This phrase taps into one of the deepest masculine instincts, a man's need to lead, to dominate, to provide direction. When you say this with sincerity, especially in the heat of an intimate moment, you're not just complimenting his moves or his decisions, you're validating his entire masculine energy. You're showing him that his strength, his assertiveness, his leadership turn you on, and nothing makes a man feel more powerful than knowing the woman he desires is aroused by his control. Control, when it's mutual and respected, creates polarity, the sexual tension between the masculine and the feminine. It's what creates that electric charge. Men crave to feel that polarity. But in modern relationships, a lot of that has been blurred. There's often a fear of being too aggressive or too dominant. So when a woman looks him in the eye and tells him, I love how you take control, she is giving him permission to fully express his masculinity without shame, hesitation, or fear. That is freedom, and freedom to a man is irresistible. This isn't about being passive. It's not about submission in a weak or outdated way. It's about intentional surrender, choosing to lean into your feminine energy and allowing him to lead because you trust him. And when he senses that trust, his confidence doubles. He becomes more focused, more precise, more invested in the experience because now he knows he has your full attention and your approval. That's when men go all in. That's when they stop doing it right and start owning the moment. Psychologically, you're telling him that his dominance isn't threatening, it's attractive. You're saying, I see your strength, and it excites me. That encourages him to go deeper, to explore more, to tap into his natural instinct to please and protect at the same time. When a man feels trusted in his control, his performance isn't just mechanical, it becomes emotional. He starts thinking, how can I make her feel even more desired, more ravished, more fulfilled? That kind of focus turns sex into connection and pleasure into obsession. It also sends another powerful message. You're the man I can let go with. In a world where women are constantly in control of careers, decisions, responsibilities, being able to let go in the bedroom is not weakness. It's a conscious act of confidence. And when you tell him that his ability to take charge turns you on, you're saying, with you, I don't have to lead. I get to relax. I get to feel. That creates a dynamic most men rarely experience. And when they do, they never want to let it go. Timing matters here. Don't say this randomly. Say it when he's actually being dominant, when he's pinning you down, when he's guiding your body, when he's telling you what he wants. Whisper it in his ear. Moan it through your breath. Say it with a look in your eyes that tells him you're completely his in that moment. That's when it hits hardest. That's when it turns him on beyond logic. I love how you take control is not just praise, it's permission, it's power, it's seduction. It tells him you're doing exactly what I want, and I'm loving every second of it. That's the kind of affirmation that builds a man's confidence from the inside out. He'll not only want to repeat that behavior, he'll want to excel at it. He'll want to be the man you always want to surrender to, not because he demands it, but because he's earned it, and you've made him feel like the king he wants to be. No one makes me feel like this. These words are pure impact when spoken during an intimate moment. They don't just flatter a man, they crown him. They say, you are different, you are powerful, you are unforgettable. In a world where everyone is constantly being compared, swiped past, or taken for granted, telling a man that no one else makes you feel the way he does is the ultimate validation. It's not just about sex, it's about presence, it's about connection. It's about letting him know that what he's doing, who he is in that moment, is having a unique and deep effect on you. This line doesn't speak to performance, it speaks to emotional imprinting. You're not saying you're good at this, you're saying you affect me in a way no one else can. That's deeper than lust. That's unforgettable. Because here's what every man secretly wants to believe, that out of all the people you've ever known, he's the one who stands out. That his energy, his passion, his presence is something you've never experienced before. And once you say it, you create a psychological bond. You elevate him above every memory and every possibility. That's not just seductive, it's powerful. Men thrive on uniqueness. They want to be the best at something, especially in the eyes of the woman they're with. When you tell him, no one makes me feel like this, you give him the win. You're saying, you've done what no other man could. That triggers pride. It triggers protectiveness. It makes him want to stay close to you because you see him in a way no one else has. You're no longer just another experience to him. You're the person who gave him a taste of greatness. The genius of this phrase is that it works on both emotional and physical levels. Emotionally, it tells him that you're connected, heart, mind, soul, that you feel something different with him. A spark, a fire, a pull. Physically, it says that the way he touches you, moves you, explores you is unlike anything you've known before. You're not just enjoying it, you're moved by it. He's not just doing things right, he's unlocking something in you that no one else even found the key to. And the delivery, that's everything. This line should never sound rehearsed. It should sound like it just slipped out, like you couldn't hold it in anymore. Say it with emotion. Say it while catching your breath, while your voice trembles, while your hands are on his skin. Make it feel like it's coming from the deepest part of your body and soul. That's when he'll believe it. That's when it will hit. You're also creating emotional safety. when you say this. You're telling him that he is enough, that he doesn't have to compete, that with him, you've found something real. And men may not always say it, but they want to feel emotionally irreplaceable, especially by the women they desire. When he hears that he makes you feel something no one else has, he'll want to protect that connection. He'll want to keep earning it. He'll be afraid to lose it. It's also a form of deep surrender. You're letting your guard down. You're saying, you've touched something in me I didn't even know was there. That's not weakness. That's not weakness, that's vulnerability used as a weapon. It's seductive. It's powerful. It's unforgettable. So when you look at him, when your heart is racing and your soul is spinning, don't be afraid to say it. No one makes me feel like this. Say it when it's real. And say it like you mean it. Because once he hears it, he'll never stop chasing the man he became in your eyes at that moment. I want more. This phrase is short, powerful, and incredibly seductive, not just because of what it says, but because of what it implies. It's not about physical quantity. It's about emotional hunger, desire, obsession. When a man hears you say those 3 words in the right moment, it doesn't just turn him on, it pulls him in. It makes him feel like he's not just satisfying you, he's awakening something primal inside you that even you can't fully control. And that's when he realizes he's no longer just your partner in the moment, he's your addiction. The magic of I want more lies in its dual meaning. On the surface, it sounds physical. You want more of his touch, more of his movement, more of his energy. But on a deeper level, it speaks to your emotional craving, more of him, his presence, his dominance, his masculine essence. When a man senses that you're not just enjoying him, but craving him, mentally, emotionally, physically, he starts to see himself as irreplaceable, and that feeling, it's fuel for a man's confidence like nothing else. Men want to feel needed, but not in a needy way. They want to feel desired. There's a big difference. When you say, I want more, during intimacy, you're not begging, you're commanding, you're showing hunger, you're showing that he's lit a fire in you that hasn't been put out yet. And that energy, feminine desire, paired with emotional intensity is one of the most intoxicating things a man can experience. It tells him, you're not just good, you're not just enough, you're unforgettable, and I can't get enough of you. It also puts you in a position of power. Yes, power. Because when a woman confidently voices her desire, she shifts the dynamic. She's not there to please. She's there to experience, to explore, to devour. And that kind of woman, that's the kind men obsess over. She's not passive. She's present. She's not reacting. She's leading with her fire, her energy, her intensity. She becomes the moment itself. And men feel that. Now let's talk about the timing. This phrase hits hardest when tension is already building, when the air is thick, when your breathing is shallow, when your body is already reacting. Whisper it in his ear. Say it through a gas. Lock eyes and let it drip from your lips like you can barely hold it in. That's when it's no longer just a phrase. It's a need, and when a man sees you losing composure, when he senses that you're on the edge and still craving more, he feels like a god. You've given him a sense of power, not through control, but through response. He's moving you, changing you, making you ache. This phrase also lingers in a man's mind outside of the bedroom, when he's driving, when he's alone, when he's remembering your voice saying those words, he'll feel it echo. She wanted more of me. And that sense of being wanted so deeply, so viscerally, becomes a mental replay. He won't be able to silence, because it's not just about the sex, it's about what the sex meant, the connection, the obsession, the surrender, the fire. So don't underestimate the power of I want more. It's not a weak request, it's a bold declaration. It says, you've lit something inside me, and I need more of your fire to feed it. Say it with breath. Say it with eye contact. Say it when your body is trembling with hunger, and watch how quickly he becomes obsessed with giving you exactly that more. You drive me crazy. These 4 words might seem simple, even playful, but when spoken with the right energy at the right time, they carry massive weight. This is not a casual comment. It's an emotional confession wrapped in desire. It tells a man that he doesn't just turn you on, he unravels you. And that's exactly what men crave. They don't just want to impress you physically. They want to feel like they're shaking your world. Every man wants to feel like he has an effect on the woman he's with. He wants to believe he's so captivating, so irresistible that you're losing control just thinking about him. When you say, "You drive me crazy," you're handing him that validation on a silver platter. And it doesn't just inflate his ego, it activates his mission. Now he's not just a participant, he's the cause of your desire, your chaos, your craving. That's addictive. But it's not just the words, it's how you say them. Tone, timing, body language. All of that matters. This line works best when it feels like a spontaneous eruption. You gasp it when he touches you in just the right way. You whisper it while staring into his eyes, trembling with anticipation. Or maybe you say it post-climax, when you're breathless and disoriented, laughing at how completely undone you feel. That's when the line isn't just sexy, it's real, it's raw. And realness is rare. Now here's why this phrase is so powerful psychologically. Men are logical by nature. They like cause and effect. I do something, she reacts. When your reaction is intense, emotional, uncontrollable, it tells him, I'm doing something right. But more than that, it says, I have power over her pleasure. That's intoxicating. Because a man who feels like he can emotionally move a woman isn't just chasing physical reward anymore. He's chasing emotional validation. He wants to keep getting that reaction out of you again and again. And let's talk about dominance and vulnerability here, because this line strikes both at once. You drive me crazy is a declaration of surrender. It's admitting that he's gotten under your skin, into your mind, beneath your guard. You're saying, I can't think straight when I'm with you. That's the ultimate power exchange, and a man who hears that, especially from a confident woman, feels like a king, not because you're weak, but because your surrender is a choice, a deliberate, powerful choice. You also create a powerful memory with that phrase. Think about it. Out of all the compliments a man can get, what do you think sticks longer? You're hot or you drive me crazy? The first is generic. The second is personal, emotional, deep. And when said in the bedroom, it doesn't just stick, it scars. In the best possible way. He'll be walking around days later thinking, I made her lose control. She couldn't even handle it. That's the kind of energy that brings him back for more. But it goes beyond the moment. Say it in different settings too. Over a voice note, during a late night call, when you catch him looking at you across the room. Say it when you're not even touching, and let your eyes do the rest. You're letting him know, you have a hold on me, and it's turning me inside out. That's magnetic. That's feminine power in full bloom. So remember, this line is not about being cute. It's about unleashing your authentic reaction to his energy when delivered with presence, emotion, and timing. You drive me crazy isn't just sexy, it's unforgettable. It marks him. And when a man feels like he's branded your soul with his presence, he'll chase that high every time he's near you.